You carry like this elegance and poise with you that I really admire.
Who decorated this place?
A homicidal maniac.
No, you shouldn't cast aspersions, dear. Not all homicidal maniacs have such ghastly taste.
Ladies, whoa my god, season 2, you did not come to play.
No.
Season 2 is perfection, and so is Morticia's camping outfit.
Can we talk? I mean,
Please.
what was it like?
Stunning. The love for the show is insane. Your characters mean so much to people. But what have they given you guys personally?
Oh, that's a beautiful question.
I've definitely got a lot more strength, or maybe confidence in my voice and my beliefs, and that's very exciting.
I'd say confidence as well.
I've really learned to lean more on my friends, my family.
These are beautiful answers. I could honestly cry. Jenna, we see how Wednesday is the new it girl at school. People want her autograph, and I imagine it's something that you really related to. When was the moment that you felt that shift in your career?
I can't really pinpoint an exact moment. It's very bizarre, and I think it was just one day I walked out of the house and I could tell that something had changed. But I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like that in my day-to-day life, and I feel like that's more of something that I hear rather than kind of emulate or, relate to.
There are so many incredible lines in the show. One of my favourites for season 2 is, "I don't evolve, I cocoon." Do you guys have a particular favourite line?
Oh, you have a great one.
My favorite line when I say to Morticia, "You're looking like a predator tonight. Allow me to be a helpless prey." The greatest pickup line of all time.
One of mine was in reference to Joanna Lumley. It's like, why does Mama have to make everything so terribly difficult, and so harsh? And then Morticia says, "Thank goodness I do have a high threshold for pain." And you see Morticia, she's like, "Ouch, ouch." And then he says, "Oh, yes, you do, darling."
Fortunately, I have a very high threshold for pain.
Which I find intoxicating.
Fester is, talking to this woman that he met at this insane asylum. And he says, "Of all the women I've ever used, you're my favorite."
Yeah. Oh my God.
I love how we get to see more of the family dynamic this season. How has your own bond with Jenna evolved over the past few years? Because it must be so special to watch her grow.
Oh yeah, no, listen, just standing next to her and watching her perform, she's a powerhouse. She's so focused and she's so committed to the work that from one artist to another, we're a different generation, but she is so spot on with what she's doing, and it's a joy just to be able to watch her.
I think we've only just scratching the surface of Jenna Ortega. It's a joy. In a world where it's so easy to have instantaneous fame, celebritydom, it's to see a young woman with such passion for her craft. It's old school in a new world, and I love it.
You said it perfectly. The tango between you two, insane. A little Velma Kelly came out, and it got me thinking, how well would Morticia and Velma get on?
Velma and Morticia would get on really well. Velma Kelly from Chicago. It's so funny because I've been blessed to have two iconic characters. I would never get anything else. To play Velma Kelly in Chicago and to play Morticia Addams in Wednesday. I'm really blessed because they're multifaceted. What I love about the two characters is that they have a strength, but they're also very vulnerable. I think Morticia shows it more than Velma. But it's the quirky pushing of the humor in the character as well. I really like to play with that when I through the whole of season 2.
They would make an incredible duo. I can see it.
A double act.
Yes.
Yeah.
The perfect double act.
Yes.
Oh, but perfect. Double act.
The whole Addams family are icons, and Jenna, you're also part of the Dietz family. If you guys could join another iconic cinematic family, who would you want to be a part of?
Incredibles.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Wait, what? The first family movie that came to my mind was Royal Tenenbaums, but that was, I don't know. I really couldn't say.
Ooh, actually, I do love the Sandman family, like the dream destruction.
Oh, right,
Their
yeah.
realms. Like, those siblings are cool.
Oh.
When we were kids, it was the Addams Family show, and then the other show was the Munsters. Like the dad was basically Frankenstein. They were sort of out there, and then they had one member of the family who was sort of normal looking. Do you
That's
remember?
right.
Marilyn, I think
That's
her name
right.
was.
That's right.
And they felt sorry for her because she looked just,
She had blonde hair,
She had blonde hair.
dressed normal.
Yeah, and yeah. So that was, when I was a kid, it was the Addams Family and the Munsters that I wished I could have been, a part of. And so on this show, I did have a scene where I'm showing all of the Addams Family, one of the houses on the Nevermore property, because I'm trying to get Morticia to join the gala committee. And it hit me that I was like, oh my God, I'm with all of the Addams Family and Tim Burton, and it really gave me like a chill. It was nice, yeah.
I'd probably join the Jaws family. Like there's, the shark comes from a family. That shark had parents. So I think that one shark became the famous one in that town. So I just want to be in that family to be like, oh, my brother's a famous shark. He's the Jaws shark.
Well, everyone's so excited that you've joined the cast. You've been a part of so many incredible projects. What would Wednesday's reaction be to How Do You Do, Fellow Kids from 30 Rock?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask Wednesday, but I think that might be something she might even find amusing.
I think so. Yeah. I would love to see Wednesday's reaction to that. So I need Grandmama in my life. I just adored the relationship between her and Wednesday. Jenna, I was wondering, is there someone in your career, another actor, that's always been the grandmama of your career, that's uplifted you and guided you?
Oh, what a thoughtful question. I don't know that I could put that weight on, any one person. And also, I don't want to associate anyone with the name Grandmama other than the delicious Joanna Lumley, because does anyone else exist? I don't know if you've had the chance to speak to her yet, but I forget where I am. She's incredible.
She's perfection. So one thing about Wednesday is, if there's a case, she's going to solve it. If you guys were to leave clues for someone to find you, what would you be leaving? So for me, it'd be like hair mousse, hummus, picture of Lady Gaga, and then they'd know I was there.
A speaker.
I'm pretty evidently, it's my headphones are quite obvious. A pair of sneakers that needs to be replaced. Cherries. Really into cherries right now.
Lip balm.
I'm with you.
Maybe a few hoodies.
A army jacket. Yeah.
Some dirty socks.
Real.
Maybe a little thing of matcha.
This show has made so many people feel seen. And I was wondering, was there ever a time in your careers when you guys felt like outcasts in this industry when you first started out?
I remember being in musical comedy on stage and finding it very hard for people to think that I was actually an actress. It was just like, you can sing, you can dance, you can act, so you're starring in West End shows, but you're a bit of a jack of all trades, not really a master of anything. And so I remember that transition of trying to be taken seriously, of that, yes, I'm really good in tap shoes, but I can actually act too. That was the hardest kind of mountain to kind of climb up for me in my early 20s.
Yeah, for me it was like showing up early on to an audition and seeing people that I knew and me going up to them, hey, how you doing? Shh, I'm preparing. And I didn't know what that meant back then.
Yeah.
And so they were like, shh, shh. Oh, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I go into a corner, they go in, audition, then I go in, and then I ended up getting the part, and it felt good to be an outcast in that moment.
I was reading that season 2 is inspired by films like Shock Corridor, Girl Interrupted, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Is it?
This is what I was reading.
Cuckoos I see.
Girl Interrupted
Cuckoos I
is-
see, yeah.
What would your character's favourite movie be?
Ooh, 10 Things I Hate About You. Like a rom-com of some sort. Or 13 going on 30.
Maybe you could do a classic, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, just because the German, expressionism and the style, it's very much Tim and, just a Gothic pillar and staple.
I'm just gonna pick the first movie that came to mind. I don't think it fits at all, but I'm gonna say Hercules, the animated movie.
Fair enough.
Jenna, another thing I was reading is that you struggle to watch your own work back and you kind of like think about everything. Is there a particular scene or a moment that you're really proud of in season 2?
Oh, no.
Why no? It's so good.
I actually haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you.
You have a lot to be proud of, though. I will
Thank
tell
you.
you that.
I appreciate that very much.
The music in the show is always on point. Who do you think would be on your character's playlist for season 2?
Oh, gosh.
I tell you, for me, quite simple. When I sang Bésame Mucho,
Yeah.
that was iconic
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anyone kissing me more than Bésame Mucho than this woman
Yeah.
right here.
For me, I'm a huge ELO fan, and like something from ELO, because ELO has that kind of, that orchestra, obviously the Electric Light Orchestra, for those who don't know. It has that grandiose, but it has a rock. It has a rock bass. And let's not forget that anything by Lady Gaga would do just fine.
My paw is up. The paws are up.
Yeah.
I've got Paramore on mine.
I've said Shostakovich, Mahler, Chopin. A lot of what I end up playing on the cello in the series is based off of the playlist that I've put together for her.
I don't think it's her typical fare, but I'd say for this season, maybe some Portishead.
Your characters all have their own unique power. Are there any qualities that you'd love to steal from each other in real life?
Emma is very. I feel like you don't force anything, which is really wonderful. I think that's you carry this elegance and poise with you that I really admire, and I think while Joy carries that too, I think you have sort of a playfulness or sort of lust for life in a way that you find it in all these different pockets, and it's always refreshing when you kind of come in or chime in with someone or you laugh, it's very contagious. So I would say probably those qualities.
Sweet. I could just listen to you talk all day. Thank you so much and huge congratulations on season 2.
Thank
Nice to see you.
Such a joy.
Thank you so much. And
sorry
huge
the time is so
congratulations.
condensed,
No.
but-
Chicago was such a big part of my life growing up. So thank you,
know it
so much. Lovely to
verbatim.
meet you.